Hello everyone, so recently we got a new image generation model which is called Reve, and this is their website, Reve Art. Now I'll share this link in the video description below. This is not a paid advertisement. It's just a new discovery of this image generation model. I saw some pretty interesting facts. This AI model is almost at the top right now, at this moment, as I'm recording the video, very close to Recraft AI and above Google Image 3. The performance overall is very clearly better than Flux 1.1 Pro and Flux 1 Pro as well. So, we're going to check it out, see how good it actually is, and look at the features and things on their website right here. One more thing worth mentioning is that when I checked their GitHub page, I saw that the Comfy UI Rev were just created recently and there's no coding yet. I noticed that this description says it's going to be able to use Comfy UI and call their web server API to generate images, and I guess their AI model is kind of large or not consumer PC friendly for local running. So maybe this is why they'll be hosting the Rev Image 1.0, the codename is Half Moon, on their own server, using the API to connect with Comfy UI. Right now, at this moment, they've opened up the website, allowing us to go to the app and directly use their image generation AI model. And through all these images, when I look at them here, they look pretty nice as a new model. And again, this is not a fine-tuned model or anything. This is a base model created from scratch by the team, and they claim it has better prompt adherence and is more aesthetic. It's also focused on typography, which you can use for designing text on banners. Maybe you have a brochure and you want to add more text to that image. You can do that with this image generator too. Back to the Explore page. As you can see, there are a lot of different human main character images, and also some close-up shots of animals that did pretty well in this AI model, especially cinematic styles like this one. Pretty nice for a base image AI model to actually generate something with correct hands. First of all, in basic terms, looking at this image, you'll see the skin is not too plastic or full of artifacts. Instead, it's got some wrinkles. Feels pretty real, like a human character should. Scrolling down here, there are more different styles of images. For example, you have some futuristic styles, some fantasy styles as well. This AI model is pretty much able to cover various versatile image styles that you can generate. Even anime styles and illustration styles can be created. Just like what I talked about earlier regarding typography, there's one very good example here that clearly shows text on the image. It's really solid. You see the text showing very solidly, like a banner ad. Using this, you'll notice on Facebook a lot of times you'll see this kind of dimension-sized image ad that could probably be using this image model to generate something like this as well. And it looks pretty nice. So, we're going to try it out. Before that, I have to mention that this image model is able to recognize real-world people like famous celebrities, political leaders, etc. It can generate their faces. So, I assume they're not using some open source dataset to create such things like what happened with Sora and lots of AI video generators. As you can see previously, they have some method of gathering datasets to achieve pretty accurate representations of real-world people. So the first thing we're going to try is using an image I already have, and I'll do some text prompting using the Qwen 2.5 where I have the text prompts here. But then in this text prompt, this is for video text prompts. So we're only going to need the subjects and the scenes. That's good enough for images most of the time. So here, the interface is really simple. Nothing needs more explanation. I believe you guys have played around with a lot of AI tools by now. And this year, 2025, seeing this kind of text box with a few options, you already know how to use it. It's pretty self-explanatory. So here, I choose 4 image variants. One thing I have to mention is that the Enhance option is for the prompt enhancer. When you turn this on, it will help fine-tune your text prompt that you've just input here and get better results for the image generation. The seed numbers are auto-generated, meaning you're getting random seed numbers for each generation here. And the size, of course, is the aspect ratio. We're getting 16:9 for a wider screen here. So, let's click Generate and see how that looks. By the way, I have some previous images generated here based on some images I had in Flux. Also, I'm doing the image-to-image feature in Reve here. Some are doing good, but some Well, okay, we'll review that later. So we got the four images of what I just input at the top, and we're just waiting for this one to load, and we'll see how that looks. So the three images here are available after being generated. Here's what I have from my Flux image, which is Roman-style soldiers, and you try to put the sword going through the opponent's torso, just like this. A movie scene of this image, similar styles like that using cinematic. And here's what I have after using Rev. It got something of better quality. Instead of having some hyper-realistic styles like this one I have, so this is from Flux, and there's still something that can be improved in this image in Flux, of course. But this style uses some hyper-realistic styles, not fully ultra-realistic, but in Reve, it's able to create very close to ultra-realistic styles of images. You see the persons look pretty real. And then I like the part in this AI image model, which is the weapon here. So far, I see these three images. They're getting the right size, right ratios of that blade. As you see, if you know a small blade like that should be about 10 to 12 inches. That's the kind of ratio with that size. If you grab it in hand, it looks like what it should look like on a person's hand. And as you can see here, it's kind of trained incorrectly. You know, the hand shouldn't be holding the blade at that part. But then, most AI models don't have too much dataset training on those kinds of details of holding a weapon or a blade, but that's fine. But at least this image model has improved a little bit for those items that aren't going to be twisted, broken, or look abnormal like a plate. So far, these three images are doing pretty nice. And you see all three images just generated. They have the same composition from my prompt. And through the prompt, when I realized that when I used my text prompt and turned on the enhanced option, it helped me edit my text prompt, adding some keywords here. For example, you see the bold text in this text prompt area, which is after enhancing the prompt to generate those three images here. Therefore, we're not only editing the prompt in this section, but we're also able to instruct the AI further using image to image. So for example, when I select this image here, rather than using the text prompt or the edit prompt here to edit what exists in this text, I can also instruct the AI to use this image and generate a similar image with that, and also make some changes with your own keywords. For example, you want to instruct the AI that this guy isn't holding a blade. He might be holding an orange, right? Or something like that. You can do that as well in this instruct prompt. So I would say change the Roman soldier holding an orange with the same pose. Hopefully everything, the composition of the image, is going to be the same. And this I expect will change to show him holding an orange. And yes, that's correct. I got two variants of images generated. So the compositions are pretty much the same as what I have in the reference image, and he's holding an orange. The prompt adherence of this AI model is doing very good. The static is better. And you guys have to remember that this is just a base model. This is not a fine-tuned model or adding extra LoRa models top of the base model to generate this image. This is just based on the base image model itself to generate such an image. The other variant has the same pose as well, with a little change to the guy laying on the ground, which in the cinematic style of this pose is referencing from this image. And it looks pretty cool with this AI model able to make just a little text prompt change to what it has on the existing image. We got two similarities very much from these two images generated from what I had. Also, here are some previous examples I tested when I logged into this website. I was, again, using my previous image that I generated using this one from Flux, where this one is an upscale image with lots of magical mushroom styles in here. I tried to use something, for example, like this one, just upload an image. But then I haven't done any text prompts. Actually, the AI is able to help me write its own text prompts by itself. I haven't done any text input at all when I uploaded an image like this. So let's try one more time to see how that goes. So for example, if you have an existing image, just like how you do in Stable Diffusion and Flux, whatever image generation tool you have with image-to-image features, this AI model Rev also has the image-to-image feature. And the laziest way for people is to turn on the enhanced option, and then what you do. For example, I have this previous image from Flux. I want to regenerate something similar in style to that. What I do is I just drag that image on top of here, and as you can see, the border line just shows that I dragged the image file onto this box. It says processing, and I don't need to type anything at all. It just waits for the upload and generation based on the two images I have, and the settings here will show the result afterward. So, what you'll see is that, well, the face, of course, isn't going to look the same. But we have the composition of the image coming from what I have in my reference image here. Although the face isn't exactly like it's supposed to look from the reference image, you understand what I mean here. You got busy cities like that. Everything, the composition, is using the same from my image. Even the positions of the characters standing are having the same pose, same directions like this on both variations of these two images. And that's something I just found out, a very lazy way to generate an image using image to image without typing text prompts. And this isn't only without text prompts. It's actually the AI writing the text prompts for me here. As you can see, I previously didn't do any prompting. I just uploaded an image and it automatically generated those texts for me, etc. So it has, I believe this AI model also includes vision for image to text. That's something. Well, it might not be included in one AI model. It might be the whole system as a whole to process this workflow. But so far, I see it's doing pretty well, especially on human characters. As you can see, like this example, it looks pretty nice. And also the typography. This is something very special in this AI model. This isn't from a language model, space AI image model, but then it's able to create stuff like, for example, this Porsche logo. It's able to create very similar logos like this just using image generation models. I'm not sure if this is from text prompts or whatnot, but at least it has those training data sets. When you see photos like this magazine cover style image, it looks very familiar with a lot of magazine styles. I believe it does have those data sets as training data to do this as well. So, that's it for this video. You should try it out. It costs nothing. It's still free. Of course, you can purchase some if you want to. It's only 1 credit for generating one image, so I think this is reasonable, not too expensive, and it is on-demand based charge. Unlike what you see in some other so-called their AI is open, but subscription need 200 bucks a month for video generation and such, and this is not that case. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And by the way, the Comfy UI tutorial content is dedicated to my new channel where it is only focused on open source AI Comfy UI and some other open source AI tools contents. If you want to check those out, check it out in my link description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. See ya!